people's image of an elephant is of a very large and very slow animal. Well, you're right. But the elephant possesses one thing that can be very fast, and that is that trunk.
The trunk is used for collecting food, hugging each other, play wrestling, and as a snorkel for breathing while in water. Elephants that are familiar with each other use the trunk for caressing and for checking the scent of a newcomer. In the wild, elephants will use it for pulling down tree branches and displacing insects. The trunk can hold up to 14 liters of water that they then transfer to their mouths. They also use it to spray dust and mud over their bodies as sun and insect protection.
I'm often asked, why do elephants love to play in the river and bathe and play in the mud so much? And the answer is quite simple. They have no pores in their skin. They can't sweat like you and me.
So, the elephant needs to bathe or play in the mud in order to reduce its body temperature. Gentle flapping of the ears helps in this process.
A lot of people think that the elephant's tail is not very important, not in the general size of things. Well, nothing could be further from the truth.
They use their tails for warding off insects and to splash water over the rear of their bodies while in the river. Unfortunately, there are some people who believe that accessories made from elephant hair are fashionable or prestigious. Well, when the hair is removed, the elephant cannot protect itself from insect bite and is open to pain and disease. This hair will not grow back. So please, refuse any item offered in the market made of elephant hair. I'm sure all elephants will be more than grateful.
Yeah, most people think that an elephant's ears are not very important. Well, that's not true. Because in hot weather, they flap them gently to create a breeze, and that in turn lowers the temperature of the inner ear.
This can decrease their body temperature by approximately 6 degrees and enable their blood circulation to function better. During the breeding season, the male elephant will secrete from the gland beneath the ear and use its scent to mark off its territory. When faced with opposition, they will splay their ears to make themselves appear larger and to intimidate the enemy. The male will also do this during his display of aggressive behavior during muster time.
The elephant's foot is an almost round shape. There are 5 toes in front, 4 at the back. And the foot bone is covered by a material that resembles gelatin. It acts as a shock absorber. Elephants are classified as having a thick skin. It's approximately 2.5 to 3 centimeters thick. However, the skin behind the ears, in the groin, and beneath the tail can be very, very soft and thin.
The young elephants have short hair on their head and back, not like a crew cut, but they will lose all of this hair as they grow older. Their skin is very soft and delicate. They can feel every insect contact and even environmental change. Normally their skin is grey in colour, but sometimes appears red or brown, depending on the local ground cover, as they're always covering their bodies in dust or mud to repel insects.
The elephant can make many, many different sounds. The one we know best, of course, is that trumpeting sound. That's made by the elephant passing wind through its sinuses.
They make this sound when they feel excited, frightened, even to express anger. They can communicate over long distances by sending and receiving a low-frequency sound. This sound is beyond the human ability to hear, but when projected, can be heard up to 10 kilometers away. This sound can be received by both the foot and trunk sensations. The receiving elephant will lift one front leg and face the sound source, or touch their trunk to the ground to concentrate. So, when irresponsible owners take an elephant into a town or city for begging purposes, it puts the elephant in great danger. Because of the huge volume of traffic and other noises, the elephant can become deaf.
Being in musth is when a male elephant's testosterone rises by about 60%. At that time, they can become very aggressive, and it's best to keep well away.
It is still unknown if the rising levels of this hormone is the cause of musth, or if it's just one of several factors. However, it is very dangerous to get close to a male elephant on musth, even if he appears to be calm. The case study found that when an old male elephant was put back into a herd, it helped to prevent the younger males falling into musth and stop their aggression. Today, the elephants ridden in the trekking villages have had their living conditions changed. They do not live together as a herd or a family. This gives the males every chance to come into musth, and it is highly dangerous and could cause a serious accident.
The elephant is the largest of all the herbivores, and with that huge size comes a huge appetite. They can eat up to 16 hours a day.
The food is varied, depending on the season and habitat. They will eat roots, leaves of various plants, bamboo, and tree bark to help with digestion. Their digestive system is relatively inefficient, and although a fully grown elephant eats about 140 to 270 kilograms per day, it will only digest about 40% of this food properly. We buy scrap sugarcane or bananas to feed the street-making elephants when their owners can't afford to. Otherwise, they would stray like starving beggars looking for food. If not living in nature parks, they should be released into the forest where they can feed themselves independently, as shown in our documentary, Back to the Wild.
Just like humans, elephants live together in a society, but the lives of males and females are very different.
The females live together in a herd or family and correlate tightly. But if there's too many members, the older females will break away and set up a smaller group of their own. However, they will still remember which group is the original family herd or not. When the male elephant becomes more solitary with age, they're often turned away from the group for several hours, even several days. After the age of about 40, they will break away permanently, but still keep loose ties with other males as well.
Now, it's pretty obvious the elephant has a very large head. There's a reason for that. It contains the largest brain of any animal in the world. It is said that elephants have an IQ equivalent to that of whales and dolphins.
Elephants have a brain complex similar to humans in terms of both structure and complexity. They have the ability of intelligence to show many feelings, including such things as grief, happiness, the ability to focus on a common interest, and how to care for an infant without a mother, and much, much more.
You know, when many people see an elephant standing around and shaking its head, rolling its eyes, swinging its trunk backwards and forwards, they think the elephant's happy and is dancing. Well, let me tell you, it is exactly the opposite.
You may have been to a zoo or some such place and seen an elephant heavily trained, rocking their heads or whole bodies back and forth. Some will attempt to walk and repeatedly lift their chained leg up and down all the time. Now this is a sign of mental stress. A close look at their chained leg will probably show a wound from where it is attached, and in many places it will go untreated. Unfortunately, the elephants cannot speak out for themselves and say, please stop this. That is why I am so proud to speak on their behalf, and that of the Elephant Nature Park and the Save Elephant Foundation. Please, I ask you to open your hearts and minds and see what you can do to assist in the protection and preservation of the magnificent Asian elephant. Please refer to our websites for the Peel and History. Finally, it just remains for me to say, on behalf of the elephants, Kampung Cup, Sally Cup, goodbye and thank you.